Hey, what's going on, YouTube family? It's Letitia with Barefruit Gardening here. I just wanted to come at you just to do a short video on composting. Composting for beginners. So what the heck is composting, right? It just literally means I'm taking all these different organic scraps, organic matter, and I want it to break down over time so I can use that in my garden. And what does it do for my vegetables and my fruits and my trees? It enhances the soil. And so you'll hear these terms like microbes and nutrients and vitamins and minerals and all this other stuff all the time. And what that means is it just feeds your plants. I mean, your plants love broke down, decomposed organic matter. Okay, that's all composting means. And so how can I compost as a beginner? Where do I start? And so I started by making a list. What can I compost? So this is a list of some things that I can compost. What not to compost is even more important. You see here I wrote no flesh, no meat scraps, no flesh, no meat scraps, right? So meat, fat from meat, none of that. Also, I don't have it written on here, but dairy, you should not compost those items, okay? It just draws a lot of pests and a lot of bug issue. It's just going to be nasty and gross, okay? So don't compost meat, fat from meat, any pieces from meat or dairy products, okay? So we want these things: grass clippings, food waste, okay? And a lot of people purchase like little cans, composting bins for their house, and I'm saying, what the what? Why would you do that, right? How many times do you throw out plastic containers in your trash, right? And so I just used this plastic container that was going to go straight in the trash and put my food scraps in here. So you can see I have a lot of banana peels and eggshells, right? And this is just from the past couple of days. And so reuse stuff that you already have. Don't spend a lot of money on, bins that cost $5, $10 for what? For what? Right? And so back to the composting, sorry. But you have to have certain things in order to compost or for your food scraps and things to break down. Okay, so all this stuff works together. They're called nitrogen elements and carbon elements. Okay, and so that you have to have, now there's ratios, and people get into, I'm not doing that here. That's not what this is for. I want you to know that you need vegetables, peels, whatever it is, those nitrogen things, and you need carbon things in order for this thing to work. And so if you can put those things in a place, in a bin, in a place out in your yard, wherever, in your house, and you can get those things working together over time with a little moisture, it will break down and be like crack for your garden, okay? I mean, it is just amazing stuff. So your plants will grow strong. They will be fed well because they're getting all kinds of organic matter, and they love that. And so one of the hardest things, though, that I went through the first time I composted is I did mess it up. And when I made this comment in my some of my garden groups, they clowned me for messing up. How did you do that? What did you do? You must be from another planet. I mean, they gave it to me. And what happened was I was using a container, a big container, and I was composting there, and I put in too much moisture, too much water. And so it started to stink really bad, and it was disgusting, and it was out of control. I could not control it. I mean, it was nasty. I could smell it in my house, right? It was just disgusting. And so they kept telling me, add more carbon, and I'm like, I'm adding, but there's nothing happening. So I did mess it up. But listen, overall, it's really, really simple to do. It really is. I was just doing too much and didn't know what I was really doing. And so now that I got the hang of it, I'm like, Letitia, you just totally overthought this. You totally overthought it. So that's what you need. And one of the things that it's typically really, really hard to maintain is the carbon items on this list. Like, especially during the summer, there's not a whole lot of leaves and twigs and things like that. And so, how or where can I get this compost? And I've always talked about going to your Starbucks and getting coffee grounds for free, right? They literally set them out for gardeners, so you can get those for free. Napkins, cardboard, newspaper, not the shiny stuff with the glossy ink. That's too much ink. But anything else you can compost. And listen, guys, y'all not gonna believe this, but this is what I started doing. Okay, so after you use the bathroom, you have a toilet paper roll, right? All the toilet paper is gone. Boom. And paper towel, right? Boom. What do we typically do with these? Throw them in the trash. That's what we do. And so instead of throwing them in the trash, I am breaking them up. And the reason why I tear them up is because they'll just break down quicker. Worms love this outside. And so there is a carbon source right there. So I've just been collecting a bunch of paper towels and toilet paper towel rolls and tearing them up. And there is my source of browns, right? If I run out. So let me take y'all real quick to my composting pail. I'm gonna show you from out the window. Excuse my office. I do some other projects with crocheting and things like that. But there's my compost pail. Y'all have seen it in prior videos, right? And so I follow the trench method. This is what's worked best for me. I can literally take those food scraps from the plastic container, run outside because it is frigid here. It is cold in Zone 6B right now. We didn't have a fall, okay? We just really didn't. But I can run outside real quick, dig a hole, and maybe I'll turn the compost pile too, just because I want to get some air in it. Maybe I'll spray it down with the water hose to get some moisture. But then I'm going to dig a hole right in that pile, throw in my compost, and cover it back up and run back inside, right? Or I have some that started here on the side. So I dug a trench, okay, put the compost materials in there, covered it back up, and brought my butt back in the house, okay? So it's that simple. Pick a spot in your garden bed. This is just my 4x4. This was my little garden that I started with, okay? And so, maybe I can start my pal if I need to move it right over here. There are thousands of different ways. Check out Gary from the Rustic Garden. Check out Callie Kim. Okay. They all have great videos on composting. And so, yeah, I just want to encourage you all. You can do it. And as you are planning for your spring garden, this is just something to consider. Free fertilizer for your gardens. Okay. Just a little bit of work, but it can be done. And it is simple and easy to do. So thank you all for listening. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell if you haven't done so already. Really, really appreciate that. I hope that you all are doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.